I guess the risk was, yes, taking a very iconic television show, making it into a feature movie, and getting a cast of people who we don't really know each other. I met Bradley once. I wasn't.
Everyone, yeah.
So I'll pass it on to my colleague.
No, I didn't watch a lot of television growing up, so it wasn't anything, I didn't even choose to not like it.
Yeah, I remember watching. I remember my fondest memory is Murdoch. I loved Dwight Schultz and Murdoch.
It's kind of a toss-up between me and Rampage.
You win.
As to who is the biggest fan.
He trumped me. He had the Mr. T birthday cake. That's when I stopped competing.
When I was in school, when I was about 10 years old, I started a gang. We were playing A-Team, and I had a rival gang copy my idea and start another gang, also calling themselves A-Team. So we had a fight down at the field. We went and had war to see who would be the only A-Team, and we won, thankfully, I'm proud to say. So I got to be in, and I had the action figures and the trading cards. You got this like top secret A-Team dossier, and I filled mine up and got all the cards that you needed, so I was definitely a huge fan.
I was watching it with my dad and my brothers, and you know, later on, you know, my dad and my mom got divorced, and so it's like, I just remember the childhood memories of when me and my dad used to sit there and watch it.
J'adore qu'un plan se déroule sans accroc.
I had got the props guys to make these rubber ones, because I thought he's a guy trying to stop smoking. So he's just chewing on an unlit cigar. But Joe, who's the real Hannibal, he was insistent I smoke the real thing. So it was like, Joe, I'm an addict. I'm off cigarettes 16 years. And there were a couple of days it was dangerous. Bradley's an ex-smoker too, so he can testify to it. Anyway, I didn't pick them up again, so I'm glad about that. But boy, they tasted good.
Bonjour!
In terms of the guy that I played, I think we changed him probably the most from the guy in the series. He was very elegant, that character in the series, and this guy was dirtier and almost more childlike and humorous. Sholto and I both had the pleasure of having scenes with our sort of paramours in this show. Yeah. My memory is sitting in the makeup trailer with looking at Dirk Benedict, who played Face, and we're both in this little black underwear getting sponge tanned. And I thought, oh, this is pretty cool.
Hands up! I wanted to play Murdoch very similarly to the original Murdoch. You know, I was sort of hedging my bets that that character hadn't dated maybe as much as the other characters, and that same level of craziness, or even a little bit more intensity, would actually work with an audience. I did get to meet Dwight Schultz, which was a fantastic experience for me, and for me it was important that he approved of what I was doing, because I was really taking a lot of inspiration from his original character. So I showed him, I had made a little test that I called things that could happen to Murdoch in a hotel room, where I had improvised various kind of crazy stuff just with props in the room, and edited it together and sent it to Joe Carnahan, and that's how I ended up in the movie. So I showed him that test, and it was a very moving moment for me. He turned to me, his eyes were kind of welling up with tears. He gave me a hug. He said, you know, you are Murdoch, and he put out on his website, Murdoch is dead, long live Murdoch, which was very moving for me, you know, because his character is one of the reasons why I got into the film business. You know, I used to do little voices and things when I was a child, so.
Je suis Barracuda.
I was scheduled to fight in my hometown, and I kind of backed out of the fight to take the movie, and I kind of messed up my relationship with the company I fight for, and pretty much almost threw away my whole fighting career for this movie. But this movie meant so much to me that at the time I really didn't care. And I got a couple of people that wanted the role as well, and now I learned in the media that this one rapper is really looking to get in a fight with me or something, because he wanted the role and he thought he would be a better Mr. T than me. I'm like, okay, man.
Names.
His name is Game. The Game. You heard of him? Yeah. He thought that he could be a better Mr. T than me, and I kind of explained to him. I said, I didn't play Mr. T. I played B.A. Baracus, so you know. Mr. T he did such a good job of playing B.A. Baracus that in America a lot of people think the character name was Mr. T. So it was kind of hard to go behind a guy like that, and And so I figured I would do my own thing, and quite honestly, my acting coach only taught me how to be myself. So I haven't learned how to do other stuff yet. So I'm still working with my acting coach. So maybe I can, you know, if I had to be like somebody like Liam and play different people and stuff like that, and Bradley, I can hopefully later I can act like something else. But right now I can only be myself in front of the camera right now.
By the way, that's the hardest thing to do in front of the camera, is to be yourself. And he did this every day. I mean, he inspired me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
With the simplicity and the truthfulness of his acting.
It was a challenge to create a character that was both a person who works in the military, commands respect, and can, you know, give orders to men who are older than her, even say, but also be a very feminine person with vulnerabilities and just, you know, a real woman.
A great director, an auteur director, you see their soul in their movie. It's impossible not to, and that's sort of the link in all of their films. And I think that it's a testament to his specificity as a director that in a huge popcorn blockbuster summer movie, you still see his point of view all throughout the film. I mean, I think every breath of this movie has, you know, was breathed by Joe. And that's something that I love because I really enjoyed Smoking Aces and Narc, and I think that there's that tone, that rhythm that's a little off in terms of sequences where people are talking to each other, and what he does with time in film. It's never totally linear. That was similar, and that's very sort of a Joe Carnahan-esque way of movie making. We all benefited from a fantastic weapons specialist, all five of us, and the other two, the two characters played by Brian Bloom and Patrick Wilson. And we trained together probably 2 weeks before we started the movie, and then all throughout the filming process. And that was invaluable for all of us. I certainly had not been comfortable with a gun, let alone an M4 machine gun before the movie. And by the end, we all were pretty adept to that. With that,
I've handled a few guns in movies, but I'm incompetent, and I'm also scared of them. So we were all there with our vulnerability and inadequacies, sharing it all, sharing that vulnerability together, and that actually helped to make us closer together.
well, certainly, if it's successful financially, there will be a sequel, and then we'll take part in it. Yeah, I mean, and I can't imagine it without Joe at the helm. So, I mean, a lot of elements have to come into place for that to happen.
But I don't know if I'm going to take a fight right away now or do another movie, because I've learned that, you know, the more time I take away from fighting, the worse fighter I'm getting to be. So I still have that macho-ness in me that I don't like getting beat up. So I gotta have this. I gotta learn how to balance and see if I can do both right now.
L'agence tous risques.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da.